Welcome! In this playthrough of Marvel United X-Men, we have Jean Grey teaming up against Cyclops to take on Magneto. So down at the table, we've already got our 6 locations put in place. Randomly, we've got Magneto starting over at Genosha. We're starting over on the Hangar Bay. And in case you didn't know, Magneto is my favorite villain, or hero, however you want to look at it. For his setup, special setup, replace the Rescue Civilians mission with the Use Cerebro mission. We've got that done. Basically, on this one, we need to spend a heroic and a movement on the same turn 3 times to take care of Cerebros to either defeat 9 thugs or clear 4 threats. Then the rest of his special rules: at the start of each villain turn, add a civilian in a location opposite to Magneto's. The BAM ability: add a thug and deal a damage to each hero in Magneto's location. Each hero in this and adjacent locations must discard an action token if they have any. For overflow, if 1 or more tokens can't be added to a location, turn all civilians in that location and in both adjacent locations to thugs. Villain is plot. The heroes lose if at any moment there are no civilians at any locations. We will also lose. Villain must play a card, but the master plan deck is empty, or a hero starts their turn with no cards at all. On a normal turn, villain's going to go flipping a card, resolving effects from top to bottom. Hero turn, draw a card, play a card, resolve our actions. Special effects, play any tokens if we have any, and a location effect if we've taken care of the threat on top of it. Each of us will start with 3 cards. So for Jean Grey, we've got her Major Telekinesis, along with the other 2, and Cyclops. 1, 2, 3. And he's got his leadership card and his wilds. Pretty good. So starting the game off here, he's going to place a civilian opposite of himself. Then he starts the game. And he's going to move 4 spaces and do a BAM ability. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. BAM ability is placing a thug in that location. Each hero in this and adjacent locations must discard an action token if we have any. We don't have any yet. BAM abilities going clockwise. Mastermind. Heroes in this and adjacent locations reveal a random card from their hands. For each attack at the bottom of the revealed cards, discard a civilian from that hero's location for health. Scarlet Witch. Each hero in this location must take a random card from their hand and remove it from the game, and for health. Got a magnetic force field in this spot. As long as Magneto is in this or adjacent locations, he can't be damaged. Then we have the Blob. Discard a civilian from this location. Then deal a damage and give a crisis token to 1 hero in this location. Fortunately, we're not there. Heroes using a movement to leave this location must use 2 instead and 5 health. And then Quicksilver. With his 4 health. See, deal a damage to the hero with the most cards in hand. If multiple heroes are tied, heroes choose. And Cyclops is going to take the first hit. Pop that in there. Then he's tossing in a thug in his spot and adjacent locations. And then we get to go. So Cyclops, to help me remember, I'm going to put a civilian up there. Cyclops first, drawing into 2 heroics. But he's going to start with 2 wilds. And he's going to take on a thug for 1. And hit Quicksilver for another. Then Jean Grey, strong into 2 heroics. Then we'll play the move and an attack for Jean Grey. She's going to use her attack in the 2 wilds to take out Quicksilver, which will finish one of our threats. And then for the movement, we'll go ahead and move over here. And Cyclops gets to go again with a double punch. We're going to play the Dub Heroics. We will use a movement, an attack, then 2 heroics. Then we're going to Magneto's turn, so he's going to pop a civilian over here. And then move in 2 spaces. 1, 2. He's got his helmet in play till the next villain turn. Cancel all special effects on hero cards. And Magneto and his henchmen ignore the first damage each hero turn. He's going to place a thug in his adjacent locations. So that spot is full, and that one is full. And we are back to Cyclops. Can't use special abilities. So he's just going to bring out his wild. He's going to use the 2 heroic to finish this off. And then the wild there may move to any other location at the end of his turn, and I think he will. He'll move over here. And it really wasn't his turn. So we got to take all that back. So we got 2 on there. And he beat up a thug. All right. All right. It's really Jean Grey's turn. Drawing a card. Can't use special powers. So she'll play this. Use the 2 heroic there. I'm going to kind of end up doing the same thing, though. Gets her threat down. And just not use her movement. End of her turn, move this direction. Then we go into Cyclops. He's going to play his wild. He's going to use these abilities to start on Cerebro. And the wild to hit a thug. And move to any location. Then back to Jean Grey. Got a dub punch. She's going to play your double heroics to start working on that. And the wild to punch a thug. Then I'm going to consolidate some things because I don't think I've got enough room. Magneto's going, which means we get a civilian up here. He's going to move 2 spaces and do his BAM ability. So 1, 2. Adding a thug. If we had any action tokens, we'd have to get rid of them. Then everyone's BAMing. He's got nothing to do in his spots. He's got nothing to do. She's got nothing to do. All right, we did all right with the BAMs. Then adding a thug in his spot and everywhere adjacent. So starts counterclockwise. Then we're going to have overflow up there. If one or more tokens can't be added to a location, turn all in that location and in both adjacent locations to thugs, which is going to be all these people turn into thugs. Then back to us. And it's his turn. He's got 2 heroics. It's not going to help him at all. So we're going to give him a move. He can use that move in one of the heroics. At the end of his turn, he'll take a move. Then Jean Grey gets to go. And she's going to use her telepathy, swap the previous hero card in the storyline with any other hero card in the storyline. bring this double wild up. So we've got 3 wilds to spend. We're going to punch a thug with 1. Then we're going to use the other 2 to finish this one off. Then Cyclops gets to go again. And we're running out of space. He's got a punch. Let's see, we can use our special abilities now. Optic Blast, attack in both adjacent locations. Take out 2 thugs. Then we've got a wild and an attack to take out 2 more. Or do we want to take out 2 more right now? All right, we're going to punch 1. Using that, we're going to use the wild as a heroic and this to finish that off. So we've got the use of Cerebro. So that means Magneto comes out after 2 activations. Or now. So he's going to place... try to place a civilian there and can't. Which means these all turn to thugs. He's going to move 2 spaces and bam. 1, 2. So adding a thug. Now he's got his discard thing. We've got no tokens to deal with. Then he's placing thugs before him, with him, and over here, which triggers the overflow, which isn't going to do anything else. All right, so we're back to Jean Grey's turn. Move these over. Got a wild. Going to use major telekinesis, so we got a heroic and an attack that we can split as we like in our or adjacent locations. We're going to hit Scarlet Witch with 1 and do a heroic here. Then we're going to move over and punch Scarlet Witch again. Then Cyclops gets to go. Going to play a double punch, so he'll take a thug here, which will finish this off. So now the villain's vulnerable. Use a movement and punch him for 1. Then Magneto gets to go, placing a civvy there, then moving 1 spot and bamming. He can't place a thug. We don't have any tokens, and there's no civilians to deal with for the overflow. Then, all right, everything is bamming. All right, Mastermind there. So here's in this and adjacent locations, reveal 1 card from their hands for each attack. It's not going to do anything. It's got 2, but we don't have any civilians in their location. This is a problem. Each hero in this location must take a random card from their hand and remove it from the game. Guess I should get this facing all the same direction before I start shuffling. And we're going to lose that double punch, which would have been nice on Magneto coming up. Then this BAM ability isn't going to trigger anything. Then he's placing thugs. It's got that. Overflow, it's not going to trigger. And that goes into there. All right, so it's going to be Jean Grey's turn. Swap the previous hero card in the storyline with another one. We can go with just the wild. That's going to allow us to move and punch twice. And then Cyclops, leadership, give a wild token from the pool to another hero. Really needed that card. So we're going to play the punch. Actually, the move might be better for next round. Move and a heroic. Heroic we don't need. We're going to move and punch Magneto for 1. And hope his next activation doesn't kill us. So he's going to start by placing a thug or a civilian there. Flipping a card, not moving at all. Till the next villain turn, cancel all special effects on hero cards, and Magneto and his henchmen ignore the first damage each hero turn. So that was probably the best thing that could have happened to us. He wants to add a thug behind him, can't, so overflow doesn't trigger anything. And adds a thug here. Then it's going to be Jean Grey's turn. Can't use telekinesis. So worried about movement. Got that in place. Can't use the special ability. We've got a wild. We'll go ahead and beat up one of those thugs, because we have to actually do 2 damage to actually defeat him. Goes to Cyclops' turn. Draws. We'll play this. First punch does no damage. Use that as an attack, and that's going to defeat Magneto. So it came down to the end there. We got lucky with that pull, because I'm sure there were plenty of other things that could have, moving 3. If we would have gotten some overflow on that one, that would have ended the game. So that's the basics of the X-Men Marvel United going up against Magneto. As always, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.